Hi guys, Khushal Kumar here, and this is part 22 of my C programming language tutorial. In this tutorial, we're gonna be learning about static variable. So let's get started. Let's create a function returning void and named fun, taking nothing, which means void. So what we will do is we'll create a local variable x and we'll give it a value of 1, and then we will create another variable y and we will give it the same value 1, but the difference here will be that this one is a static variable. What it does is I will be telling you shortly. So now we will print it on the screen, both x and y. X is %d for integer and y is %d, so we'll write x and y. I've told you all of this before, you know everything what's happening till now. One more thing is we will be incrementing x by 1 each time this function is called. Lastly, we will call this function fun maybe 3 times. So let's run it. Before that, let me give it a new line character. So let's see what has happened here. Let's see what happens when function fun is called for the first time. So as you know, when the function is called, the control goes to the function. So the control comes here and the compiler encounters variable named x, which is 1, which is initialized to 1. It's a local variable. It has the scope of this block only, and as the control comes out of this block, this is not recognized. This is deleted by the compiler. So x is 1 and this static variable is initialized to 1. Both of these are initialized to 1. Okay, so we're printing x and y on the screen, right? So x is 1 and y is 1. So 1 and 1. Let's see what happens. X is 1 and y is 1. So this is right. The next thing that happens is x is incremented by 1 and then y is incremented by 1. Thus x becomes 2 and y becomes 2. But the fact that x is not valid as soon as the control comes out of this block, so we will not be considering this. We will keep in mind that y is has now become 2, right? So y is 2. We've written this here. So now the control came here and thus the function has been completely executed. So the control comes back here and then it goes here and it encounters another function call. Thus the control comes back here, right? The control comes back here and it encounters that there is a new variable, local variable x, and it is being initialized to 1. So that means it's a new variable, not the old x. It's another x, another copy of x, not the old one, and it's initialized to 1 again. So the fact that x was incremented here has no significance, right? So the next line we have static int y equals to 1. This is initialization of static variable y, but in this case what it does is the compiler ignores this because static variable is initialized only once, right? So it has been initialized and its value was 2, right, in the first time that the function was called. So what will happen is x is 1 because x is 1, it's a new copy of x, and y is %d, which means y is 2, right? Because y was 2 the last time the function was called. So the output should be 1, x is 1 and y is 2, right? So I think you're seeing the pattern here. What's happening is y, which is a static variable, it never gets resetted, never gets deleted during the function calls, as in the case of local variable x, which gets deleted every time the control comes out of the function. So what will happen is we have printed x and y on the screen, which has come out to be x is 1 and y is 2, right? So what will happen is now x will be incremented by 1. X was 1, now x will become 2, but it does not matter because as soon as the control comes out of this block, x will be insignificant. The copy of x will be deleted, right? So y plus plus, which means y is now 2 plus 1, which is 3. Y is now 3, right? So the control comes out and the control comes here, then here. This function is again called. So what will happen is the control will come here, here, another, the third copy, which is completely different from any other copy that has been encountered before. So the x will be 1. Since it's static, the value will be the same as it was previously, as it was left in the previous function call, right? Previous function call left y with the value of 3 here, right? So x will be printed on the screen as 1 and y will be 3. As you can see here, x is 1 and y is 3. The next step is x gets incremented by 1 and x becomes 2, which is insignificant since as soon as the control comes here and out of this block, x will no longer be useful, it will be deleted. And now the y is 3 plus 1 equals to 4, right? The control comes out and then the control comes here and then here, sorry, and then here. Thus the execution is over and this is what you get. So what you understand from this is that apart from a global and a local variable, there is a special kind of variable which is static variable, which never changes its value during the function calls. That's all you need to remember, right? And one more thing, as in the case of global variable, static variable will also keep its value as 0. Value to a static variable is implicitly given as 0, or implicit initialization of a static variable is 0, right? So if you see here, if you just remove this, right, and now make it 0, so let's see what happens. As you can see, x is 0 0 0, right? X is 0 because we made it 0 explicitly by ourselves, right? But y is 0 despite the fact that we did not initialize it. So one more thing that we learn from this is that y is initialized to 0 every time we don't initialize it explicitly, right? So y will be here 0 implicitly. So that's all for this one. I hope you liked it. If you have any doubts or questions, ask them in the comment section below. I will be happy to answer. So I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did and subscribe if you haven't to get notified about my new videos. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.